"Sit down, boy. Grown folks are talking." The bailiff's voice cracks through the courtroom like a snapped branch, sharp enough to make a few people snicker. Light from the high windows spills over the wooden benches, catching dust and judgment in the same beam. Malik doesn't flinch. 9 years old. Shoes a half size too big. Shirt tucked tight like he ironed it himself. He steps forward anyway, chin up, eyes steady. Judge Harrington lifts one brow, amused. "You can wait while we discuss your mother's case. This isn't story time." More quiet laughter. A whisper floats from the gallery. "Why's he even here?" Another. "Poor kid doesn't know how this works." Malik's fingers curl at his sides, but he stays calm. His mom, Layla, sits at the defense table, tired but still graceful. Her hands tremble under the fluorescent lights. "Your Honor," Malik says softly. The room goes still. No one expects him to speak. His voice is small but unwavering, threading through the heavy silence. "I have something important." The prosecutor smirks, flipping a file open with exaggerated flair. "Son, this is legal procedure. You wouldn't understand these documents if you tried." Malik's eyes shift toward the stack of papers. Fast, analytical, almost hungry. He absorbs the details like he's seen them before. Judge Harrington sighs. "Let the child sit." But Malik doesn't move. His gaze locks with the judge's, steady as carved stone. "I can prove my mom didn't do what you think she did." And for the first time, the room stops laughing. The courtroom feels colder now, as if Malik's words cracked open a window no one noticed. Layla's eyes widen. She didn't want him dragged into this. She whispers, "Malik, baby, sit down, please." But he doesn't. His small hand rests on the defense table like a quiet claim. Judge Harrington leans back, studying him with a mix of irritation and curiosity. "And how exactly would you do that?" Malik swallows, standing straighter. "Because I saw the real report. And this one," he nods at the prosecutor's file, "is missing pages." The prosecutor scoffs loudly. "This is absurd." Whispers ripple through the gallery. People crane their necks. Some shake their heads. Others lean forward, entertained by the child's boldness. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, flickering slightly like even they're unsure. Layla looks at her son, pain and pride warring in her expression. "Malik, honey, you don't have to." "I do," he says quietly. Judge Harrington taps a pen against the bench. "Child, what report are you referring to?" Malik's eyes darken, not with fear, but with memory. "The one in the office upstairs? The night you took Mommy away?" A few murmurs stop abruptly. The judge freezes mid-tap. The prosecutor shifts in his seat, stiffening. "How would you know what's in that office?" The prosecutor asks, his voice too tight. Malik lowers his eyes for the first time. "I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was." It's the first small clue, barely a breath, that this quiet boy isn't as innocent or as uninformed as everyone assumed. The judge narrows his gaze, re-evaluating the child who just forced the entire room to breathe differently. Something about Malik's stillness, his deliberate words, unsettles the hierarchy that held firm only minutes ago, and no one laughs anymore. Silence hangs thickly. The prosecutor clears his throat. "Your Honor, with all due respect, we can't entertain fantasies from a 9-year-old. Why were you in the office upstairs?" The judge interrupts, eyes on Malik. Malik lifts his chin. "Because I go with Mom when she cleans at night." Layla's eyes close in a wince. She was hoping that part would stay hidden, hoping no one would question why a little boy spent evenings in the courthouse. Malik continues, "She cleans your offices while you're all gone. She reads the files she finds on the desks." He glances at his mother. "Not to spy, just to keep learning." Judge Harrington's jaw tightens. "Your mother brings you here after hours?" The prosecutor seizes the moment. "Your Honor, this is highly inappropriate. Clearly her irresponsibility is..." He stops. Malik is staring at him, calm, steady, and something about that stare makes him stutter. "I wasn't reading for fun," Malik says. "I was reading because I like patterns." The judge tilts his head. "Patterns?" Malik nods. "You see things adults don't. Words that show up too many times. Numbers that don't add up. I remember the report on Mom's case, the one with the timestamp from the security office." The prosecutor's smile strains. "That report had 3 pages, Malik adds. Not 2. A hush falls. A woman in the gallery gasps softly. Judge Harrington reaches for the file, flipping through it quickly. "This version has 2. That's because someone removed the page," Malik says. "The one with the camera footage note." The prosecutor rises abruptly. "Your Honor, this is turning into a circus." "Sit down," the judge snaps. The prosecutor sinks back, cheeks flushed. Layla grips the edge of the table, her voice shaking. "Malik, how do you remember all this?" He turns to her with eyes too old for 9 years. "Because I looked at it every night while you worked. I wanted to understand what they were doing to you." The judge studies Malik, not with authority now, but with caution. Arrogance has collided with something unexpected. A child who sees the courthouse not as a place of power, but as homework. Judge Harrington lifts the file again, scanning it with new eyes. eyes, his fingers still briefly on the staple holes, uneven, slightly torn, as if someone had removed a page in haste. Malik steps closer. The footage note said my mom left the lobby at 8:53, but they said she was in the storage room at 8:55. Those rooms are 6 minutes apart. People in the gallery begin whispering louder now. Doubt drips through the room like a slow leak. The prosecutor straightens his tie. Even if such a page existed, it did, Malik says simply. I memorized the sentence. Judge Harrington's gaze sharpens. Recite it. Malik closes his eyes, breathing slowly, as though flipping through an inner filing cabinet. At 20:53, subject L. Barnes is visibly exiting lobby area toward main doors. Camera 4 captures no further movement toward storage wing. His voice doesn't shake, not once. A stunned hush swallows the room. Judge Harrington turns to the prosecutor. Where is that page? The prosecutor swallows hard. I'm not sure what the boy thinks he saw. He saw the truth, a man in the gallery says under his breath. Another murmurs, he's smarter than all of us. The prosecutor's forehead glistens under the lights. Your Honor, this is highly irregular. What's irregular? The judge says quietly, is a missing page in an official document. Malik steps back to his mother's side, but the shift has already happened. He's no longer the child who needed protection. He's the one leading the room. He speaks again, softer this time. Someone changed the report to make it look like Mom was somewhere she wasn't. Judge Harrington's eyes narrow on the prosecutor, who now avoids eye contact entirely. The gallery watches him crumble in real time, shoulders tightening, blink rate quickening, breath shortening. No yelling, no threats, just silence exposing everything. Judge Harrington closes the file with slow, deliberate pressure, as though sealing a verdict inside. Counselor, he says, eyes locked on the prosecutor, I will require the full case record by noon. Every page, every timestamp, every camera log. The prosecutor nods stiffly, lips thin, voice gone. Yes, Your Honor. And until then, the judge continues, the charges against Ms. Barnes are suspended. Layla gasps softly, one hand covering her mouth. Malik stands tall beside her, hands folded, steady as a pillar. The gallery erupts, not loudly, but with murmurs of approval, nods of respect, soft sighs of relief that ripple outward. Some look at Malik with astonishment, others with a quiet, blooming pride. Judge Harrington shifts his gaze to the boy. Young man, you've done something remarkable today. Malik looks down. I just told the truth. Sometimes, the judge replies, truth requires more courage than anything else in this room. Layla pulls her son close, her voice trembling with gratitude. I don't know how you stayed so calm. Malik leans into her, whispering, because you always told me. Being quiet doesn't mean being small. Judge Harrington rises. This court stands adjourned until the full record is reviewed. The gavel hits, a clean, echoing sound, a sound that feels like justice stretching its limbs after being cramped too long. As people file out, Malik's presence lingers. Small frame, big purpose, a reminder that clarity can come from the most unexpected places. He glances back at the bench, eyes thoughtful, not angry, not triumphant, just aware of the system, aware of its cracks, aware that sometimes the smallest voice can reveal the biggest truth. And as the doors open and sunlight washes over him, the moral settles softly. Even in the places built to judge us, truth still waits for the brave to speak it. This is Black Twisted Stories.